Hello, we're back again and we're talking about fractions. We're going to be working on representing fractions greater than 1 on a number line. We're just going to do the procedural stuff, no story problems today. Here's our first number line. And my job is to label all the endpoints on this number line correctly. So let's get started. The first thing I think about, where are the holes on this number line? It's easy for me when I box them or circle them. So I see 0. I see 1, I see 2. Okay, so now let me think, how many equal intervals are in one hole? An interval is the space between the holes. Interval equals space between holes. So I'm going to go ahead and count the intervals. So I see 1 interval, 2 intervals, 3 intervals. This is an interval between one hole. So let me think. What is my unit fraction? Well, if there are 3 equal parts or 3 equal intervals in one hole, my unit fraction must be thirds. So I'm counting by thirds. So now let me think, how can I count using my unit fraction? So let me think. So the first one, if I'm doing thirds, it has to be 0 thirds. 0 thirds. And now let me just count up. 0 thirds, 1 third, 2 thirds, 3 thirds, 4 thirds, 5 thirds, 6 thirds. Okay, easy enough. Here's another number line. This one's a little harder because it doesn't start at 0. So same thing. Where are the holes on this number line? Let me box them. I see 2, 3, and 4. Now let me think. How many equal intervals are in one hole? So 2 to 3, that's one hole. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 spaces, 4 intervals, 4 equal parts in one hole. So let me think. What's the unit fraction? The unit fraction is fourths. I can count up by fourths. But wait. It doesn't start at 0. Let me think. How many unit fractions are equal to 2? How many fourths are equal to 2? Well, 4 fourths is one whole. So let me double that. So 8 fourths must be 2 wholes. 8 fourths. So now I can just count up to label the rest of the endpoints. 8 fourths, 9 fourths, 10 fourths. 11 fourths, 12 fourths, 13 fourths, 14 fourths, 15 fourths, 16 fourths. Okay, this is how we represent fractions greater than 1 on a number line. Typically what we see in class, if kids struggle to do this, they count all the intervals on the number line to figure out the denominator instead of counting the intervals in one whole. And sometimes they even skip the whole numbers. They would go 0 thirds, 1 third, 2 thirds, skip 1. This is 3 thirds. Make sure when you're working with your scholars at home and working on number lines, you're thinking, where are the holes on this number line? How many equal intervals are in one hole? What's the unit fraction? How can I count up using the unit fraction to label each endpoint? And if the number line doesn't start at 0, think, how many unit fractions are equivalent to that whole number? Thank you. Bye-bye.